Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch my video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the subject of confidence and about why I believe some people are a lot more confident than others. For me, there's different things that affect whether or not you are confident or not. I'm going to cover some of the main points that I believe we need to look at and we need to focus on if we are in fact going to change and obviously become more confident. Um, One of the main factors I believe that determines whether or not you are confident or not is that you look at your past performance. I think some people who have perhaps not done the greatest, they often think that because they've not done that well in the past, that that's actually ultimately going to determine how good they do in the future. Well, this obviously is not true. What is past is past. If something's happened in your life that has not obviously turned out the way that you wanted it to, it might have been a financial thing that went wrong, it might have been a relationship that went wrong. Whatever it is, you need to remember that your past does not determine in any way your future. But there are obviously a lot of things that do, and I'm going to obviously try and focus on some of those as well. Now, if you can get through this past thing, you need to stop worrying about what has happened in the past, what people have said, perhaps what people's opinions are of you. You need to start rising above this. Now, for me, sometimes I've got quite a strong character, and I don't tend to let people dictate or if you like, guide me in any particular direction, which sometimes in my life has been a good thing, and other times I've obviously taken the wrong path and made mistakes. But I think one thing you need to consider if you do want to become more confident and start being this like stronger, more driven person, if you like, is to stop taking notice of everyone. When I say everyone, I mean people that are in your immediate circle. You might have a lot of people around you who are obviously having their point of view. They're telling you what they think you should do, whether what you're doing is worthwhile, whatever it might be. And the one thing I've discovered through life is that most of the time these people that are around you, this circle of influence, these people that are it might be they're in your family, it could be their friends, people at work, whoever they are, you need to before you start allowing them to, if you like, poison your idea or to perhaps make you feel that you can't do what you want to do. You need to start asking the question to yourself first of all: are they qualified to even have an opinion? Because for me, I honestly believe there's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people that they don't want you to fail, but they don't want you to be this. They don't believe you can be this positive person. They don't believe that your life can change. And I honestly believe that it can. Yeah. There are obviously lots of things which can make your life better. Obviously more money, perhaps a greater living accommodation, perhaps a partner that helps you more. There's obviously other overriding factors which are obviously going to push you in a more positive or negative direction. But there are things that we can control to actually make the best, if you like, of what you've got. Yeah. So the first thing I would say, is don't look at your past. Don't be governed by what's happened to you in the past. And the other thing is obviously don't let these people that are perhaps around you influence you unless they're qualified to. Don't listen to people unless they are qualified and can actually comment at a higher level than you on whatever it is you're thinking about doing. Yeah, you wouldn't go to a dentist if you had something wrong with something wrong with your breathing. We see specialists for a reason. So for me, yes, I do listen to people, but I do try and listen to specialists I try to listen to people that are educated in whatever field it is that I'm looking for direction in. Yeah. Now, the other thing which determines whether or not you are actually going to be more confident and actually grow as a person is your ability and your desire to want to be this person. Is your desire to want to become more. Is your desire to do better. You see, because anybody can wish they want to do more. Anybody can wish they want to have more money. Anybody can wish they want to have a bigger house or a nicer home. But the trouble is, wishing is for fairy tales. Yeah. The only way that we can truly move forward and become greater at whatever it is we want to become greater at, in this case, at being more confident, is to fail. Yeah. You're probably thinking, well, I don't want to do that. But unfortunately, this is what we need to do. We need to accept, that by going into a difficult situation, by allowing ourselves to be exposed to a situation where we're not comfortable, right? We need to know that we might possibly fail. We might possibly balls it up, yeah? But you need to understand that you will not grow in confidence unless you do that. Yeah, unless you decide to make the conscious effort to every day say, look, a situation arises which you're not totally comfortable with. Well, you've got to say to yourself, I'm going to do it anyway, because you will only grow as a person. You will only become more if you expose yourself to that very environment which you're fearing. Yeah, you've only got to look at an example when you were a child and when you was a child trying to learn a bike. Yeah, if you never allowed yourself to be pushed off and take that plunge, you would never have learned to ride that bike. You would have never learned to walk. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is, that you might be thinking, well, this is basic information. And it is very basic, what I'm telling you. But the trouble is, you and me and a lot of other people, we don't always put these actions, we don't always take these actions, and we should, yeah? You could look at an example, a guy at a dance hall, yeah? He's got a fear of asking a girl to dance. Well, he can stand there all night having that fear. You've just got to say, I don't care. I don't care whether she says yes to me or not. I'm going to ask her. And don't give a toss about the outcome. Because this is how you want to be. This is what successful people do. Successful people, yes, they do things that are calculated. Obviously, I'm on about business now. If they try something in business, they would have looked at the pros and cons of doing whatever task it is in hope of a greater reward. They would have made those calculations, profit and loss. But at the end of the day, they've still got to do it. Only they can determine whether or not it's worth trying and doing that task. Now, obviously, when we're talking about confidence, I'm on about perhaps confidence. Obviously, with business, if you're doing something in business, then you need to take guidance and obviously get professional advice as to whether or not what you're doing is the right course of action. I'm not so much on about that. I'm on about obviously you as a person. You as a person walking into a room. You as a person walking up to a bar. You as a person deciding that you're going to walk into a pub on your own, or you're going to walk or go to a theatre on your own. Yeah, you need to understand that only you can make yourself become this person, and the only way you will be able to do this is to unfortunately expose yourself to an uncomfortable situation. Yeah, because that's all confidence is. Confidence is a person, is someone who's confident like me. I mean, I am quite a confident person. I can walk into a room, I can talk to people, it doesn't bother me. I can, if someone's more educated than me and they start talking to me about a subject, I might not be able to converse with them on the same level, yeah, but I will not let that person belittle me, yeah, because I am a confident person, yeah. But I wasn't always that way, yeah. People who are confident, they wasn't always that way, yeah. And there's still going to be times in my life where I have to go and do something which I've never done before, which might be uncomfortable for me. But the difference with me is that I will give it a go. Yeah. And that's all confidence is. It's about accepting that you might fail. Yeah. And that obviously without losing loads of money, failure is good in a sense that obviously, life is full of things we have to do. It's full of tasks, and we're always getting results. Some of them positive, some of them negative. Yeah. But guess what? You're probably like me. You're still there. We're still here. We haven't died because we've made a mistake. And this is what you need to put in your mind when you actually go to try and do something. If you're thinking about doing something, but something's holding you back, say to yourself, what is holding me back here? Is it because I'm worrying about what um, my family might think of me? Am I basing it on something that's happened to me in the past where I've failed? What are you basing this decision whether to proceed? How are you basing that decision? Because if you doing whatever it is you're going to do means you might fail, but it doesn't really matter, why are you hesitating? Why are you even thinking about not doing it? Because it doesn't matter if you fail. Yeah? Think to yourself, it doesn't matter if I fail. If you do something and something don't work, and someone in your family says something to you, or someone you know says something to you, all I would ever say is I'd say, well, I tried it, but that time it didn't work. Yeah? I ain't going to beat myself up over it. I'm not going to worry about it because it was something that I thought was worthwhile. It was something that I wanted. It was something that I wanted to pursue, and I did it. It's not a crime to fail. Yeah? And I think this is the trouble. I think a lot of people, it might have been their upbringing, they might have been brought up around people in their family. It could be that they have a dad that expects a lot of them. It might be that they have someone, somebody who they look up to, who they aspire to, and they're worrying about what it is they're thinking of doing. Yeah? And they don't want to do it and try it and obviously turn around and say, oh no, I couldn't do that, or it wasn't for me. Don't you see, not trying and not doing it, that's the failure. That's a failure. Yeah. Someone close to me recently started doing something, and they started doing it, and they've done it for 2 or 3 weeks, and they've realised that it ain't for them. And basically, I said, well, you've tried it. It wasn't for you. That's it. That's the end of it. It doesn't matter. You haven't failed and you haven't succeeded. You've just given something a go and it hasn't worked out. It wasn't for you. It ain't the end of the world. Well, this is what you need to tell yourself when you go to do something. Think about what it is that's actually physically making you procrastinate about whatever it is you're thinking about doing. Because it ain't actually the fear of obviously a terrible consequence of you doing this thing. It's your mind looking at all the other things, thinking about what your family thinking, they're thinking about what your friend's going to say, thinking about you know, all different things that are obviously niggling at you and stopping you doing it. When really you've just got to turn around and say, do you know what? I think this is a good idea, or I want to ask this person, or whatever it is you want to do, and saying to yourself, at the end of the day, if they say no, if it turns out it wasn't a great idea, if it didn't work out, say to yourself, so what? I don't give a monkeys. It ain't worked out for me, but I'm still here. I'm still breathing. So what? Don't you see these people that have got a negative opinion of you, or these people that you perceive are going to have a negative opinion of you, right? It could be friends, family, whoever it might be. And it might be a figment of your imagination. That's the other thing. You're forgetting that it could just be a figment of your imagination. You're letting yourself get um, um, wound up by people's other opinions of you who perhaps don't even care about what you're doing. Yeah. So think about that. Think about if you don't follow through and do whatever it is you want to do, and you're basing it on something which that person might not even care what you're doing anyway. Yeah. The biggest mistake you will ever make, yeah, in whatever area of your life that it is, whether it's relationships, whether it's work, whether it's perhaps developing an idea, perhaps it's putting a small amount of money into a business, a concept. The biggest mistake, in my opinion, you will ever make will be if you don't try. Because you've only got to look at some of the cleverest, some of the greatest people in the world, and looked. If you was to ask Richard Branson or ask, some of these high-level people, how many times they've failed, it would be endless, absolutely endless. But what they've done is they've found the confidence to go forward, to make a conscious decision to proceed in a positive direction, and the things that have gone wrong, they've cut. They've obviously said, well, this don't work, I'm going to leave this. This don't work, I'm going to leave this. But the things that have worked, because they've chosen to have the confidence and go forward, they have run with. Yeah, they have run with. And I can look at this in my own life. I've tried a few different things in my life. Quite a few things. I've had different. I bought into different businesses. Some have worked, some haven't. And one business which I can think about, I bought a sign writing machine many years ago. And even though I don't make a lot of money with it now, I used to do really well with it because I was more involved in doing signs. I used to do really well with it. Well, if I hadn't found the confidence at the time to buy that machine, I would have never made the money with it that I did. So can you see how this confidence thing, you really, really have got to get your head around it and say to yourself, look at why, don't just say, oh, I can't do that, I haven't got the confidence. Analyse what it is that is making you, what is holding you back. Yeah, if it's family, if it's fear of someone saying something, whatever it is, find the reason why you're not doing it. If it's financial, well, that's another matter. If you don't want to invest a sum of money, then that's a whole different level, a whole different ball game. Then perhaps you need to seek financial advice, obviously business advice from somebody who knows. But if it's something, if this decision, if this action that you can take is not going to have no real financial consequence on you, but it's something that can improve your life and not have no negative on your life, well, you've got to make a decision, and that decision has got to be to proceed. Yeah, because you will only move forward when you make your mind, when you change your mindset and you say to your mind, well, I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to allow this to dictate to me. I'm not going to allow these fear of what other people are thinking, or this doubt. I'm not going to allow this to beat me, right? And if you're thinking about, and if you're worried about the fear of failure, worrying about whether this thing you're trying don't work, well, you're failing if you don't try. So either way, you can either not do it and fail, or you can try it and you might fail, but you might succeed. And the more you try, the more you push forward in your life, the more you will succeed. If you see my other videos, you'll know that, I'm I haven't got loads of money, but I've got quite a good quality of life. But I'm always looking to do better for my family. Yeah? If you sit back, and you take your foot off the gas, then you ain't going to move forward. Your life, your quality of life, your happiness, everything in your life, it's just like you sat in your car. You could be sat in your car with your foot on the brake. You might have reached a destination where you're comfortable, and you think, well, you know, it's quite nice here, and you take your foot off the gas. Yeah, you take your foot off the gas, and you stop looking for new opportunity. You stop looking for new ways. You stop believing in yourself. You start having limiting beliefs. Yeah, and some people, they even put their foot right on the brake. Well, guess what? You know what happens when your foot's on the brake. You don't go anywhere. With me, what I try and do, if you see my other videos, you know I suffer with my health. I suffer with OCD. I suffer terrible with OCD. But I still don't take my foot off the gas completely. I'd be lying if I said I haven't at times had down times in my life when I have allowed myself to be overcome with my OCD. But even then, I've still made myself go to work. I've still made myself do things that I'm uncomfortable with. Because if you're in your comfort zone, if you're in this happy space, you don't realise, but that could be closing in on you. Yeah, you need to. Unless you're content, it might be that you're ultra content, and I think if you're the sort of person that has got a great level of contentness, then I think you're a very lucky person. You know, because some people are content with a lot. Some people can be content with a very if you like, low level of living, but they seem to be happy. Well, I think if you're this person, you are lucky, but that's another subject. But yeah, just think like with your confidence, just try and make yourself. If you go to do something and something holds you back, you need to be critical of yourself as to why you are not taking this positive, decisive action, which can take you forward in life. Please please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it if you subscribe. I'm trying to build my channel. It's basically it's mainly based on personal development. I've got videos all about my health. I do, like I said, I suffer with OCD and depression and that, and I've had bad times with it. And but I've always seemed to be able to move. You know, obviously rally on. But yeah, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. I'd always reply to constructive comments. And if you can, please give me a thumbs up. But yeah, please leave a comment. If you've got any questions, I always try and answer them. Thank you so much for taking the time and watching my video.